They're going to be going past us while I put my heated grips on. We see brake lights. I'm already braking. That learner is not braking. He's just going full speed. There's another bike there on the right hand side. There's two other bikes. So I will just casually cover here. I will, I'm not going to do that on the inside. And I will, after this Hayabusa, I'm going to get him behind him.
Naughty, very naughty.
I am literally just going to speak my mind today. I know a lot of people can't do that, political reasons, but that's not the sort of speaking I'm going to be doing. I will be talking about what's going through my mind. Now, I know for a fact that this Ford Ranger, he's got a smart car there. It's a bit done up. He is going to bomb it away from these lights as much as he can. He's got the big wheels. He's over the line. So let's start here. Okay, so now I'm not going to try and go up the inside of him because I know he's going to be a bit of an aggressive driver by the way I've already observed him driving already. So I'm just going to play it cool. There's no traffic. There's no need to filter at the moment. I am doing the speed limit. So here I'm looking all around. I'm looking for pedestrians. People want to go to work. They're trying to get to the station. I'm looking for behind vans. I'm looking at junctions. I'm looking for people that are trying to cross the road, not at a crossing. This guy is turning right. Left is clear. I'm going to go up the inside of him and just sneak into the front. I don't want to be too close to this van because it does restrict vision from what I can see in front of me. And now I want to get slightly here, not too far to the left, because there could be people in cars that are parked up opening their doors. But as long as I've got some vision of what's in front of this van, I can predict, or I don't even have to predict, I can see what's happening well in front before I see these brake lights go on this van. Pedestrian on the right hand side, he's nice and casual, just smoking, so he's not going to want to cross. I'm now going to move over a little bit because there are a lot of cars on here and I want to make sure that I can see a full range of both sides, but I am keeping my distance from the van in front. If that was a car in front, I could be a little bit closer, but it's a van, it's blocking my vision ahead, so I need to make sure I can see what's going on. What I'm also looking for here as well is, as I'm kind of scanning the road from left to right, up and down, I'm also looking for obstructions in the road, maybe any oil, maybe any potholes, etc. Now here, if I was in a car, I'd want to be on the right hand side, but here I can actually see a nice little gap here between these two vehicles, and I'm just going to push myself just in front behind this Kia. Bit of a tight squeeze, and if you look at the floor there, it's a little bit uneven, so I don't really want to go through that gap and be on an uneven surface between two cars at close proximity, so I've pulled back there. Looking at the lights, also quickly looking around on the right hand side to see if anyone is crossing. I can't see anything on the left because of the van. Usually I'd look down that road, see if there's any emergency vehicles coming. Approaching a roundabout now, I've got to make sure that there's no one turning right. I'm also looking at this guy turning from the left, and we are clear to go. Again here, when you've got bus stops, you've got lots of traffic on the left hand side that's parked. I'm always going to be looking between cars, junction coming up here, no one coming out of the junction, that's good. This car's right up my arse and I'm doing over the speed limit by 2 miles an hour anyway. But don't be pressured to go faster. He will realise in a minute that, yeah, he's already going over the speed limit, why am I pushing him? And he should back off. Again, a corner, we can see a junction coming up, no one there. We've got a junction on the right, we've got pedestrian crossing on the right. He's looking the wrong way at the moment. Hopefully he's going to look the right way in a minute before he crosses. He sees me, we're good. I carry on scanning. There's a park, possible pets, dogs running out, all sorts of things could be happening here. At the roundabout here, I'm actually going to go straight ahead. No one on the crossing. I'm going to keep going straight here. I've checked both ways and we are good to go. Nice open road here, but it's still a residential area. There's still junctions on the left and right. There's a pedestrian crossing. There's possibility that we could be getting pedestrians, a learner driver, anything could happen there. Give it loads of space, that learner driver. We're carrying on, a nice open road still. This is where your brain can relax just a little bit, and you'll see with the speed that I'm speaking here, that it is quite an easy ride. Why am I? I have no idea why my phone has decided to call my wife. Sorted that one out. We have got the learner driver behind us again now, but that's okay. We can sort that one out in a minute. Okay, so this is a junction mini roundabout. The learner driver is turning right, so it is quite safe to get up the inside, but the road position of that learner driver is very central, so I am going to give a little bit of room there. Checking right, lifesaver left, and turning.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
Okay, look at that lovely bus lane, which I am not permitted to go into. I'm looking at this guy coming out on the left. I will ease out to the right hand side here, but this is not going to be an easy ride. I have to stay on this side of the lines, and I'm also looking at that guy ahead of me to see what he's going to be doing. I don't want to be sitting in this traffic though, so that guy needs to either make a decision, or otherwise I'm going to be going past him. So let's have a look on the next. We have got a crescent of a hill coming up here, which is a bit of a problem. I am going now. Still nothing behind me. Looking for pedestrians on the left hand side that want to cross. That guy just running out of nowhere, didn't even look left at any stage. Even when he got onto this side of the road, didn't look left. Okay, so it's safe to go in front of this. Is it safe to go in front of that one? I'm going to stop here because that guy wouldn't have seen me, and it's safer to actually pull in behind that one than it is to try and just give it large, because that white car was also giving it some welly away from those lights. Anyway, junctions, we're still looking down junctions, making sure there's nothing coming. We're looking for pedestrians still. All of this time we are looking for pedestrians. They're the people that are going to run out in front of you, more than likely than cars. So many people are running out, trying to catch buses, trying to get to the station quicker. Everyone is late in England.
Take the second exit onto the A13 towards central London.
We're coming up to a roundabout here. We want to be in the middle lane, but I don't want to overtake on the inside in case people are getting dropped off. I'm checking over my right shoulder. It is safe to nip in behind this van here because there is another vehicle coming. We'll check left hand side lifesaver, and then we will get in the left hand lane. We're going to be in the middle lane now. I'm braking for traffic lights rather. I've checked behind me, there's nothing coming that was speeding up to that. When you have to stop suddenly for these lights, to be honest with you, it is sometimes really worth it to check your mirrors, know what's behind you at all times. And basically, prepare, because if you're going to have emergency braking, there's a truck behind you, he's probably not going to stop. So you want to always be a little bit on the careful side. So as these lights change, we are going to be merging, well, we're going to be staying in this lane all the way around, but we're going to be turning left. A quick look to the left, quick look to the right, and we're good to go. Here is going to be a bit of a problem area because there's loads of people wanting to swap lanes. And where everyone wants to swap lanes, they want to get in the left-hand lane, middle lane, right-hand lane. We need to gradually filter over to that between the middle and the right-hand lane here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pushing through, and when there's a gap on the right, we're going to squeeze into it. That's not big enough. We're going to squeeze into it and move over to the right-hand side. But we will do that. Maybe now is a good opportunity because that white car is actually going nice and slow. We are going to hold in this lane. We're going to check our mirrors, make sure no one's there, and then we are going to move back in. Don't just go straight into that lane. There's loads of bikers and mopeds that come down here at stupid speeds. We might see some of them on this video, and you'll get to see. Right, gap on the right here. Always look for gaps in this situation when the traffic's slow moving. Anyone could move into any gap, and you have to assume, and I'm going to pull over here just to show you something, that I'm actually going at the speed I want to be going, but there's other bikers that want to go a lot faster than me. and putting hazards on, it does nothing. It's not in the highway code. It doesn't really alert people that you're there, because by the time you see the hazards, you're already gone past them. The time they see the hazards, you're already gone past them. So again, taking it nice and easy. You don't want to be going too quick here. Have a look at my video on filtering. I talk a lot through there. I talk about the laws. I talk about comfort zones. I talk about what is deemed as dangerous driving or riding by the police. For me, this is my comfort level. I'm not in no rush. I don't need to be going mega fast. I'm happy at this speed. What I'm doing here is I'm looking as far ahead as possible, and I'm zigzagging back to my location. I am going to let a couple more riders go past because they want to be going a lot quicker than me, and I will find a place to do that. I mean, usually moped riders are a bit aggressive. I'll wave them past. He's just going crazy. There's no point in really going that fast. But you got cars going in and out, weaving in and out all over the place. It's really not hard to navigate through, but it's hard to stop, right? You're going to have to stop at some point if there's no room to move. So just go at your own speed. Here, I'm looking again. People are going to want to be changing lanes here when they see this sign. Maybe they're in the wrong lane. This guy's awfully close to the right-hand side, so what I'm doing is I'm holding back a little bit. What you want to do when you're overtaking, especially when there's gaps like this, you want to position yourself in their wing mirrors. So this guy here in the grey, he can see me at the moment because I can see him. If I can't see him, then he can't see me. So I'm holding back a little bit. There's no point in going mega fast here. The speed limit is 40. I'm doing 37. I'm not going to really be gaining much by going over the speed limit. Last minute left-hand turners you want to be watching here. There's none, we're good. I'm checking over the right side again. We're clear to overtake. Okay, so there's something happening up here because there's a lot of brake lights ahead, and there's also a truck here as well. The reason I'm in this lane now is because there's not many people behind me, and I've got more braking distance. As the car in front goes past this truck, I move over, so I have even more braking distance again. I'm not going to sit behind a vehicle. It's very windy today as well, so I want to be looking for flying obstacles and carrier bags and pieces of paper or something that could really be dangerous to road users. Nice open road here, which is rare for this time in the morning. So we're going to sit here in this lane for now. We've got a couple of bikers coming up on the right hand side. They're going to be going past us while I put my heated grips on. We see brake lights. I'm already braking. That learner is not braking. He's just going full speed. There's another bike there on the right hand side. There's two other bikes. So I will just casually cover here. I will, I'm not going to do that on the inside. And I will, after this Hayabusa, I'm going to get him behind him. I think this guy's going to want to come in. Thank you. Okay, we've now got the sound advantage on our side from these bikes, but I'm not going to be keeping up with that blue one. For me, that riding is far too fast, especially when you've got cars slowing down like this. He might be a great rider, but either my skill level's not up to that or my comfort level is not there. Okay, gap on the right hand side. Does this van want to go into it? No, we're good. We keep going. We're looking at positioning of tyres. We're looking at vehicle positioning. Usually you can tell when a vehicle wants to swap lanes well before it indicates and well before it commits to the manoeuvre. Here, big gap on the right hand side. Again, truck looks like he wants to get over. That van looks like he's possibly wanting to get over. Some of the cars you can tell when they've seen you, they will move over a little bit, which gives you a good bit more comfort level. That grey car there indicated after it started moving. So that's what I'm saying. You get very short late notice. You've also got to look, see there in the road there, you've got to look down at certain bits of the road. And that car actually saw me. It indicated well in advance, which is great. During the central bit of road, it doesn't get used much, but there are a lot of divots in this road, and also there's a lot of debris that builds up. Okay, so here, massive gap on the left hand side, danger zone big time for us. So we are going to move into that and be central in that area until we get to filtering again. We're going to check lifesaver, we're going to come over, we're going to swap down the gear, and we're going to start filtering again through these gaps. The right hand side lane is our danger lane because it's not moving. So you want to be making sure that none of these people on the right want to pull into the left, because both of these lanes go to the same place. But here I'm going to take my time, I'm going to filter through. I'm looking, I'm looking at gaps, This van is all the way over here, but that's fine. We got some small spaces to squeeze through, but as long as it's safe to do so, we're all good. If your wing mirrors fit through, you'll fit through. Even if you've got a bike like this that usually has panniers on the back, it is designed that if the wing mirrors fit, the panniers will fit as well. Here we got a gap on the right, so the middle is now the danger lane. You could see the guy in the Vito here on the right hand side. He was going to commit to the move, but then he saw us and he pulled back into his lane, which is great. Lots of brake lights now on both sides. So here, this is the speed I want to be doing. I don't want to be going faster than this. Gap on the right, but that's braking, so they might pull into the left. We're looking at vehicle positions. We're looking at potential slowing down of lanes with gaps in the other lane. This is not what you want to be doing on that moped, speeding up the inside like that. It's not ideal. For me, you ride your own ride, but for me that's not the ride I want to ride. We have a biker there. Has he decided what he's doing? No, he is a very new guy. He's straddling. He's walking the bike rather than riding the bike there. Big lorry here, but we've got loads of room to get through. We've got debris that could fly out of trucks like that on the right. The wind is windy, so you have to look at big flat-sided vehicles as well. Not so much here because it's slow, but if they're moving fast, they could get caught by a gust of wind and have to move very slightly. They get pushed over by the wind. Another couple of gaps here. We're looking from the left-hand side all the way down here. We're just looking at gaps, where people can. We're not looking at the road in front of us so much. This guy's got his hand out for some reason. Why? Having an argument. Okay, let them have that argument, stay out of it. What you didn't want to do there is see a swerve where someone gets really angry. Okay, we're still filtering through here. This traffic is terrible this morning. If you're in a car, I feel sorry for you. The right hand side is faster moving. There's a gap there. You're looking for people to move into these gaps. That white van looks like he wants to go somewhere, so we're giving him a bit of extra room. When we have this sort of situation where the traffic is faster moving, you don't need to be filtering here because this is a danger zone. As it starts to slow, you can filter if you have room, but majority of the time you don't have to be going the speed limit. You know, you can always go less than the speed limit and catch up later. It's not a big issue. So here, not much we can do here. We got cones and pavement. I'm not going to go up the inside of the pavement where all the debris is, and I'm not going to go on the outside where all the debris is. And I need to pull back a little bit from this van. I don't know if its brake lights are not working or that was engine braking, but I was a bit too close there, to be honest. I can't see anything in front of it. I don't want to go too far to the right because of the debris on the road. I could pick up a screw, a nail, a piece of glass, anything, and I don't really want a flat tyre. It's not worth it. It's going to cost me a lot more money and a lot more time to get that fixed than it is to save 35 seconds. So these lanes are merging now, so I want to get myself in a position where I'm not parallel with a vehicle, just in case people forget how to merge properly. And we are able to filter now again, but the way I want to be filtering here is I want to be alternating lanes rather than anything else. I'm good to get over here. I just need to watch this van. Now the speed limit here is 30 and I think there is a speed camera in here. So I'm going to slow down for the entrance of the tunnel, and there is no speed camera. Okay. Solid white lines. That means do not cross, but some people can still cross. There's nothing stopping them from crossing. They're just not permitted to by law. I'm going to get ready to move into the right hand lane here. Checking the right side lifesaver. We're good. A lot of moving traffic again in lanes, but the danger is not as high. So we can just focus ahead, zigzag our way back, and figure out where we want to be positioning ourselves. There was a biker behind me, but I can't see him now. So I'm going to lifesaver to make sure he's not in that spot. I see him now in my mirrors, so I know where he is. But here, no point in me filtering. I'm doing 40. The speed limit is 40. So we are all good. The right hand lane, we see brake, brake, brake. The left hand lane, we see this Discovery. Is he in the right lane? Is he in the wrong lane? We don't know. We're going to get ourselves in the middle lane, positioned on the right hand side. We see a moped coming up. Go on in, mate. You go. You do your thing. I'll do mine. Ride your own ride at all times. Don't be forced to follow someone. Don't be forced to speed up because there's someone behind. There is another bike here. I will move over so he knows. It's a 30 mile an hour. I'm already doing 35. So no point in me filtering here. We're going into a tunnel as well. Tunnels are usually a little bit congested. People start braking as the light changes and people decide to adjust their vision, but this is going well under the speed limit now. No, it's not. I'm actually on the speed limit, sorry. And there is a speed camera. We'll pull back a little bit so this guy can see us before we overtake. We see the cars braking. We are moving between the cars as and when is needed. No point in moving between them at the moment. Okay, now we can move. We can shift ourselves to the left slightly for better visibility around the corner. Then we can make that weave move between the vehicles and then move ourselves over again. Now I did pick up a little bit of extra speed there, so I was going a little bit over the speed limit, so now's a chance to say, okay, well, we're out of the danger zone now, we can calm it down a bit. So we get back down to the speed limit. I mean, I do go over the speed limit, but sometimes I think it's, if I tried to weave through there at 30 mile an hour, it's a lot more dangerous. So I hear something. What am I hearing? Don't know what I'm hearing. I'm out there, guys, blind spot, so I really need to be moving over. This guy's going to speed up now because the car in front has gone. I will move back over to this lane. That guy's got indicators on his mirrors that tells you where someone's in your blind spot, which is great. But we're just going to hold here for a little bit. We're doing the speed limit, so there's no point in filtering past this traffic. We do need to turn right up here in half a mile anyway, and because we are doing the speed limit, there's not much point in filtering. However, I will be a bit cheeky as a bike, and I'm not going to stick behind these cars that want to turn right. I'm actually just going to filter in front of these cars, and I'll show you why. I will go here, and usually, if convenient, unfortunately we haven't got the option to do it there, but we do have the option to do it here. I'm going to pull just in front of this van here. I know it's naughty, I'm over the line, I know that, but sometimes it's easier to be out of danger than it is to be stuck there. So yes, I know I don't always abide by the law. Very rarely I will go over the line, but here I'd already committed to going past that truck. There's nowhere else to go. I'm not going to stay at the line in the wrong lane with all these cars coming up behind me. I will go over the line. I get myself out of danger more than I will, worry about the fine for doing it. Quick lifesaver to make sure that I was in the way of that truck's vision. Okay, so we're coming back up to a residential area.
next set.
where we have cyclists now. Cyclists are going to be the issue now. So we have a lot of, now I'm looking both lifesavers, left and right, for cyclists.
Right, turn left onto Commercial Road.
In this kind of bit of area, it's not too much of a big issue. There's no point in me going round here. I'm going to stick behind this car. He's let me go, but I'm saying thank you. There's no point. It's not going to really do anything for me to get in front of this truck. Although I really appreciate that he, not so much that he said I can go, but the fact that he's seen me is what I want. Okay, so we are turning left here. It's now kind of, you know, it's still lots of fast-moving traffic. We're away from the dual carriageways, but the important thing to start looking at here is there are lots of crossings. There are lots of people. There's lots of bikes. A lot of cyclists don't usually go on the dual carriageways, the A roads. They'll stick themselves going through the city where it's a more direct route and they can weave in and out of traffic and get there much faster than cars. And with the speed limits being 20 mile an hour in a lot of areas, well, most, if not all areas within Greater London, we're going to be in a position where we're not going to be moving that fast anyway. Cycles will be overtaking and undertaking us. So that's something now that the government has given us even more things to look out for. I mean, before when the speed limit was 30 mile an hour, you didn't really have to worry about too much about cycles coming up the inside of you.
Turn left onto Whitechapel High
But now, because it's 20 mile an hour everywhere, I've got to look for this truck. Is he turning left? No. Okay. So, sorry, I'll come back to that in a minute. But in this bus lane now, we are permitted in this bus lane. There are left-hand junctions. And there are gaps in the bus lane for cars to be turning into those junctions. So you've got to always be prepared. And this is where sometimes you have to go over the speed limit a bit just to get yourself out of trouble. That guy can clearly see me now. Where I was before, I'm not sure if he could. Okay, anyway, so where before we had a 30 mile an hour speed limit in London, it's very rare that you'll get cycles that are going 30 mile an hour. A lot of them are between 15 and 20, 25 max. But now at 20 mile an hour, you could just be in traffic, you could be going the speed limit, and you could get undertaken or overtaken by a bike, by a cyclist. And this brings me back to the long old conversation about ways that we need to identify cyclists to make them a little bit more responsible for following the rules that we have to follow. Looking at this car coming out, is not coming out. Looking at other vehicles that might turn into it. I'm tootling along here. This is actually a little bit more than 20 mile an hour, but it's just so slow. Okay, buses, supermarkets, pedestrians, people jumping out from behind a bus stop. We noticed we've got rubbish bins out, so we could even have people throwing rubbish unexpectedly, which could bounce onto the road. We're looking at junctions, we're looking at pedestrians. Does this car want to turn? No, I need to get in front of these vehicles. A little bit of traffic here now. Are any of these vehicles going to decide to go inside?
Whitechapel High Street.
I'm going to nip in front of this van. There is a car sticking out and there is a traffic light. I'm going to get in the central of this lane. Staying in gear, right foot on the brake, getting ready to manoeuvre off. So now we come into the area where we're just on the outskirts of the city. You can see the buildings are starting to get taller. That we do now start to get more and more people, more and more bicycles, and slower moving traffic. You'll see that as we start to go in a little bit. So the truck behind me is turning left, we can all hear that. We're quickly checking right hand side, checking this bike coming out here, checking across the junction, we are good. So we are moving on. Nice that I've actually got my own lane here, you can see there. At all times, motorcycles, cyclists and taxis and buses are allowed in this lane. So it's nice to have a bit of a lane to myself. so I can keep myself out of danger. Although you get people like this going the wrong way in the cycle lane. And I'm also checking over my right hand side to see what happens on the left hand side. You've got lots of traffic. I'm going to go up the inside of this bus. I do see that guy there. I don't know what he's doing, and I'm worried about this van pulling into that lane, which is not as good. I'm going to go up the inside of this one, and I'm going to check lifesaver and move over very slightly.
Pass these lights. Then at the next
I position myself so I've got a bit of better visibility. I don't necessarily need to go between these vehicles, but I just want to make sure that I can see what's going on ahead of me. So, oh, that's a nice guy. Thank you, mate. He's really helped me out there because now I can just whiz through here. Some riders, some drivers are really very nice.
Whitechapel High Street.
I have to say, low riding mirrors or low height mirrors. Okay, what have we got here now? So these are all merging. Ideally, I don't really want to be in the middle here. I don't want to be stuck between vehicles. I'm gonna check there, that car's, I've got room, so
Turn right.
I don't want to be here either. I want to get inside with that taxi because I'm going past these lights. And the next set of traffic lights, I can't speak, next set of traffic lights, I want to turn right. Okay, so now we're pretty much into the centre of London now. We're going into the centre of London. You're going to start seeing the chaos. I'm not going to go in front of the taxi. It doesn't really benefit me a great deal. So I will just chill out here a little bit, have some downtime to relax. I'm still fully aware of what's behind me. I've got a moped on the right. That's now going to come up on the left hand side, I'm pretty sure of it. But it's not a moped, it's a Triumph. But hey, I knew what he was going to do. See, he's had to go into the cycle bay there. I didn't need to do that. It doesn't really benefit me a great deal by gaining one car. I'm turning right, so it's not as if I'm going to go full steam ahead. I still have to wait for the oncoming traffic. But yeah, now we are looking out for all sorts of other road users. We're looking out for buses, people getting off buses and then running in front of the buses. That's a major one that people seem to be doing. Want to cross the road, get in front of the bus and then run out in front of it, because yeah, there's no room for any cars to overtake, but what about the bikes and the cycles? Quick right hand side lifesaver.
3/4 of a mile, turn left onto Copthall Avenue.
A nice left hand turn here. Counter steer, counter steer, counter steer. Push that bike down. I haven't really got to ride the bike on the way to work today. I've not done any real nice leans or anything. It's just been a commute, really. Counter steer, counter steer, counter steer.
1/2 mile, turn left onto Copthall Avenue.
Okay, we are pretty much almost here, where we want to be going, but I'm going to keep the camera rolling for a little bit, just so you can see how chaotic this gets. I mean, where am I? If I was going to overtake this taxi, where would I go? Left hand side? I've got loads of cycles there. I have to go right hand side, but he seems to be wanting to block me in. But because there's that nice pavement area, I've now got a clear run. But look at these vans. Look at these vans. Pedestrians. I'm literally leaning over looking for pedestrians crossing here. And we will move over to here. We've got police on the right hand side. I don't know if they're giving tickets or what they're doing. I can't move through this gap at the moment, and I'm a bit worried about that guy's reversing lights on, but I think that's just part of his stoplight. I'm not going to go on the inside of the cycle. I don't want to be going in that lane. That is a solid white line, which means cycles only. I've got another noisy bike behind me. And we have got a red light here. So this is pretty much centre of London, east central this is at the moment. Lots of people around. That's the road I want to go down, unfortunately. It's a little bit on the busy side. Yeah, for those that don't know the difference between a mandatory cycle lane and a, what's the other one? Is an MCL. The mandatory cycle lane and another cycle. I'm going to have to bring it up on screen. But the difference between those two is if it's a dash line, you can enter it, but it is meant for cyclists. But if it is a solid line, you're not permitted to go inside. Now, where is this cyclist going? I'm going to move slightly to the right here so this guy can come up the inside. And we are almost at our destination. I need to sharpishly get away from these lights because that car behind me might still want to squeeze through. So that is the end of my journey in. I hope you've enjoyed it and not got really frustrated with me yabbering on constantly.
Turn left onto Crocktor Avenue, then arrive at your destination.
I am going to pull in here and find myself a nice place to park.
Turn left onto Finsbury Circus.
Anyway guys, that's the end of the video. If I've not picked something out which you would have noticed or you would have mentioned when riding, or you do certain things on your ride, or you think I do certain things wrong on my ride, you know, I'm always open to not so much criticism, but I'm always open for people to tell me their views. Criticism is fine.
Street, then turn left onto Circus Place.
Don't really care about that, but I like to learn from it. So until then, I will speak to you later on.